Half-assing communication and hoping for the best is not a winning strategy. My oldest daughter is absolutely petrified of needles and has been since the moment that her little baby brain made the connection between what a needle looks like and pain. So back when she was 3 years old, I devised this whole plan that we were going to get her over her fear of needles. I did all the things that I could to get her to her annual appointment to get her shots without there being too much friction. All of my efforts paid off, and we got her to the appointment. Aside from some tears when the actual needle hit her leg, we were okay. We quickly whisked her off to ice cream, and all was well in the world. Fast forward to her 4-year-old well check appointment, I thought we were kind of over it all. I had checked the box of helping her move beyond this fear, and I didn't think we really had to do all of the things again. On the way to daycare drop-off, I just kind of dropped the bomb of a half-assed communication of, hey, sweetie, I'm going to pick you up early today, so I'll come to you in the office and we're going to go to the doctor. Didn't really have much of a reaction, so I thought we were good to go. Later that afternoon, I show up to pick her up from daycare, and she is just sobbing in the office. I'm not exaggerating when I say it took me almost 10 minutes to get her into the car to even start making our way to the doctor. On the way there, we called her grandparents, we called her dad, we made every promise that we could possibly think of to essentially bribe her to make it through this appointment. Sobbing the whole way there into the lobby, and the people working at the doctor's office felt pity for me and said, you know what, we're going to put you in a family room where there's a couch and you can sit next to her. Hopefully that'll help her calm down. At this point, my only hope was that she was going to go like Bunny when they came in with the needle and just freeze, let the shot happen, and we could move on with our lives. When I say that my child turned into a feral cat the moment that they walked in with those needles, it is not an exaggeration. Because we were on a couch, she leapt up over my shoulders and was wrapped around me like Taylor Swift and her cat, but the cat was screaming at the top of her lungs. I guarantee there was not a single person in the doctor's office that didn't think that we were torturing this poor child. And it was in that moment that I realized I had done nothing to help this child prepare for or manage the potential change of getting a shot. Going back and thinking about what I had done with her when she was 3 years old is what helped me come up with what I call the Change Management for Everyone framework. This framework can be used to help anybody manage any sort of change, including a mom with a 4-year-old in their shots. When she was 3 years old, I set a vision of exactly why she needed to get shots and what was going to be in it for her. We talked about why we get shots, what the shots were going to help protect her against. We talked through probably the most important part of the fact that she would get ice cream at the end and not get sick. We gave her very tangible what's in it for me, as well as this larger vision of why she needed to go through this process. We did it relatively well before the appointment took place, so then we had time to communicate and reinforce these ideas over time. We did all of the things. We watched Daniel Tiger. We practiced giving each other fake shots. We talked about exactly what the appointment was going to look like. And we had this constant stream of communication from the moment that we talked to her about the doctor's appointment to the moment that we walked in the door. But the most important part of the communication that we had with her was that we didn't gloss over the unpleasant parts. We shared the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the things that were going to happen, and the fact that the shot might hurt. By the time that the appointment came around, she could tell us exactly why we were doing it, what was going to happen, the fact that it might hurt, and then what was going to happen afterward when she moved through the shot. And as we moved through the process of going to the doctor's appointment, we celebrated small wins along the way. Not crying in the car, woohoo, great job. Being calm, cool, and collected and reading a book while we waited for the doctor, I'm so proud of you. That she knew that we recognized the work that she was putting in to move through this process. Then the shot came and it hurt for a second. She got a Band-Aid and we went to go get ice cream. Now, in contrast to when she was 4 years old and I half-assed communicated with her and sent her on her merry way, hoping things would go well, there is a massive difference between how I managed that process. Unfortunately, what we see time and time again is that most leaders half-ass communicate and hope for the best. And that just doesn't cut it for change management. Very bare bones basics. We need to have a strong, articulate vision. We need to have constant communication of the good, the bad, and the ugly throughout any sort of change that's happening in our organization. And we need to celebrate small wins along the way. If every manager all over the world was able to adopt those 3 steps for each change that we make in our company, it wouldn't eliminate all problems, but it would sure make our organizations a hell of a lot more resilient.